I know, I continued, but I wanted to believe we were okay. We watched a movie that evening, ordered takeout, and laughed about how bad the acting was. It felt like we were recovering, like something had shifted. She nestled against me and stayed that way until the credits rolled. It had been so long since she'd done that, and with that sliver of intimacy, I convinced myself that everything was fine again. But it only took 7 days to prove me wrong. The shift came slowly. Her patience thinned. First, it was in her tone. Then, her eyes stopped looking at me like I was human. Her body language began to end conversations before they began. And then, the accusation surfaced. "You act like you're the savior of this family," she snapped one night. I didn't fight. I just asked why she had been so distant lately. "You don't have to play the martyr. Acting like every dollar you spend makes you more valuable." I was stunned. I had been trying to help. "No," she hissed. "You were trying to feel important." I didn't recognize her. This wasn't the woman who once begged me to take a weekend off so we could lie beneath the stars and name our future children. By Friday, I came home from work, tired, hungry, my head still in that morning's team meeting. The living room was different. Boxes, stacked neatly by the door, not hers, mine, my laptop bag, my coat, my shoes, a few of my favorite books. Camilla stood in the foyer, arms folded across her chest like a final verdict. Leggings and a silk top. "What is this?" I asked, barely able to process it. "This is me being honest," she whispered. "This isn't working, Corey. I just paid your parents' mortgage." "Don't," she cut me off. "Don't throw that in my face like it gives you a right to stay. Camilla, I've been carrying us." "You're just a man carrying a marriage I've been funding with a thin paycheck and a breaking heart." My heart didn't shatter. It simply went silent. She said my name like it was something rotting in her fridge, something she couldn't wait to throw out. "You don't belong in this house." I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I realized in that moment, she didn't want a husband. She wanted a sponsor, so I left. No bag, no keys, no goodbye, just the sound of the door closing behind me. "You don't belong in this house." A house I helped pay for. A house I slowly erased myself from until I was no longer in the picture. All that remained was the memory of giving $20,000 in love and getting a goodbye in return. When I walked into the new apartment, it smelled like loneliness and old paint. A lone bulb flickered on the ceiling, throwing shadows like bruises on the wall. It took 20 minutes for the heat to start, but it was mine, between a liquor store and a laundromat. Not ideal, but peaceful. I bought a cheap kettle with a plastic handle that got too hot. I didn't even drink tea before, but something about pouring hot water into a chipped mug, sitting in silence, felt like a kind of healing. I cooked, not because someone expected it, but because it reminded me I could take care of myself. There were no more midnight arguments about bills, no guilt-tripping glances, just me and peace. Work, people noticed. Not all at once, but gradually, as if they were seeing me from a new angle. I brought lunch again. I laughed. Not convincingly at first, but I tried. My paycheck stayed in my account. I wasn't rich, but I wasn't plugging holes in a sinking ship anymore. Ainsley from HR caught me in the break room. She smiled gently and said, "You look different, like someone let go of you." I nearly dropped my coffee, but she wasn't wrong. I shrugged. "Might be nice," and it was. The thing no one tells you about constantly giving in a relationship is that you lose track of the last time you received. You forget your favorite movie. You stop buying things for yourself. You lose your voice in the noise of trying to keep someone else happy. And then one day, you look in the mirror, and the person staring back doesn't even flinch at your sadness anymore. So I started over. I filled my shelves with books I loved, not ones that matched the decor. I drew badly. I made playlists just for me. I stopped checking Camilla's social media, not out of anger, but clarity. Why watch someone play out a life they never truly invited me into? I deleted our anniversary photos, not to be petty, to make space, because those memories stopped being mine the moment she decided I was replaceable. One Sunday, the past came knocking. The kettle was whistling. Rain tapped the windows. I was at peace. Then my phone lit up. Darlene, Camilla's mother. I hesitated, then answered. "Why wasn't the mortgage paid this month?" she asked sharply. "The bank sent a notice. They're threatening collection." I leaned back and looked out the window. A man walked his dog down the street, calm, like the world wasn't burning. "I thought it was all covered," I said. "You said it was settled." I let the silence sit. "Ask Camilla," I finally said. Another pause. This one hit her. "But you paid that $20,000. You said." "Yes, I did. I transferred it straight to the mortgage account. I have the confirmation. Don't spin this. This is Camilla's mess, not mine." A long sigh. "You used to be the reliable one," she whispered. "I still am," I replied. "Just not for you." I didn't yell. I didn't throw my phone. I just set it down, poured my tea, and breathed. Crutches don't walk away when you stop supporting them. They stumble, they call, they blame the ground. But I was done being leaned on by people who never intended to stand beside me. That Sunday morning, I didn't hope for redemption. I just drank my tea and let peace settle in. I wasn't waiting anymore. I was beginning. I had a folder named House with a battery that died after 20 minutes of being unplugged. Spreadsheets with dates, notes, and amounts were contained within. The first sheet was titled Simple Support History I. Began it a month after Camilla and I were married, telling myself it was for organization's sake. But I guess I knew in my heart on July 12th I might need a record somewhere, not for them. $450 AC replacement. Wesley claimed that on August 3rd, Darlene was becoming ill due to the heat. Darlene's dental emergency cost $760, and I still recall her saying, "I'll pay you back." And the fact that she never mentioned it again on September 18, $4,200. I spent 2 nights wondering about how I would stretch the salary due to a roof leak. This continued for 6 years. Numerous small transactions, some large, some simple. Can you see me until Friday? Deposits for food, gas, and money. Camilla's cousin, who planned to launch a podcast, needed